Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are baking a cake for my brother for his 44th birthday. And I've never done this before. Like, I've made several cakes before, don't get me wrong, but I've never decorated a cake, if that makes sense. And if you keep watching to the end, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So I've seen this many years ago on how you take a box cake and turn it into a bakery store cake. And I am telling you the whole truth. If you haven't done this, you absolutely have to try it. It tastes so good. I'm not a cake fan. I prefer pies and cookies, but I did eat some of this and it was really good. I usually take like a small little slither of it, but it's just, cakes are just not my thing. Comment below if you are cake or team cookie. I'm personally team cookie. So basically what you do is you take your box cake mix, and this is not anything that I've created. This is something I've seen years and years ago. But you take your box cake mix and you replace your water with milk. I'm using 2% milk here. We do not have any allergies or any dietary restrictions, but I would imagine that you could potentially use a different type of milk if you had to. I mean, it'd be worth a try just to see if it worked. And then you add an additional egg from whatever the box says. And instead of putting oil, you substitute that with butter. And I'm telling you, it is worth it. If you ever tried it, definitely give it a try. Okay, so my brother, like I said, it was his birthday, and when I said, hey, I'm going to bake you a cake, he just kind of just lets me do whatever, and he supports the vision. And he's like, okay, cool, I think you could do that. But he didn't realize that I was going to actually make the cake to the level to which I made it. So I asked him, I said, hey, what are your favorite colors? He gave me those colors. And then I said, hey, and tell me like something you'd like to do so I could have a way to decorate the cake for him. And he says, well, I love fishing. So I was like, okay, cool. And that just prompted my interest to get on Pinterest, that I didn't do that on purpose. But I got on Pinterest, and I'm telling you, if you guys are looking for some ideas, people have already created this. You just need to go and recreate it, if that makes sense. Or when I got on there, I did see a lot of things that I liked and then things that I didn't like. And I was like, oh, I could do that. But what I would do is switch out this, and you'll see that. I will insert my inspiration inside of this video. So while my cakes were cooling, I ran to the Dollar Tree to get the decoration. Okay, so here are my cakes. They are a little small. I think next time I'd probably double the recipe, but it's gonna be great for what I'm gonna do with it. So let's go ahead and decorate these. I had them wrapped like this. They did cool down, but I had them wrapped like this because I had to go out and get a few things from the store to finish the cake. This is not my creation. This is someone on Pinterest. If you see them, tag them below. Let me know so I can give them proper credit. But I saw this cake that they made, and I was like, you know what? I like that. But here's what I would do to switch it up. And you absolutely can do that. That's why people post things on social media platforms. It's because they want you to see what they did to create something, and then they want you to get an inspiration. And there's a lot of great artists out there who are influencers or whoever, people are just doing life, and just showing you different ways and different tricks to do things and to do it on a budget. And on my channel, I love a good budget DIY. I'm actually gonna put the cakes on hold. I just washed this really well, wrapped them individually, and I'm gonna put those on hold because I found some of these chocolates in my cabinet, and I want to do some pretzel rods, just a few, not many. My friend who's a baker, I told her I was going to use this to color my icing, and she says, don't use this, it's not going to taste good, it's going to make your icing taste nasty. So she's going to bring me some different kind, I guess, and then I'll get back on the cake. Actually, what I think I'm going to do, instead of making the pretzel rods, I'm going to go ahead and blow these up real quick. I really wanted to make the pretzel rods because I was trying to make fishing poles, if that makes sense. But ultimately it was just going to be a waste. It was just the four of us. My husband was at work, and it was just a little spontaneous something that turned into something grand for my brother, of course. But, I just felt like it'd just be a waste, and I was running out of time. So I just decided to go ahead and start working on the balloon arch. And I realized that when I made the last balloon arch for my daughter's graduation, I showed you guys just me blowing them up, but I didn't show you guys me putting them together. And I think I did start putting them together here. Something happened. I had to stop. And anyways, that's what you're seeing now. So again, I know you're probably thinking, okay, your brother is 44 and you're treating him like a kid. But it's just the mere fact that, okay, a little backstory. Growing up as children, we never had a birthday party. Like, I think my first birthday party that I vividly remember, my husband and several friends of mine threw a birthday party for me, and I was like 30 years old. And I even asked my mom, like, when we were, singing happy birthday and everything, I said, hey, did we have birthday parties as a kid, or did I just miss something? And she says, no, I don't think y'all had birthday parties. And so, again, I only spent just a few dollars. Okay, not like a few dollars, but it wasn't very much. I got everything at the Dollar Tree, and just being able to go and do that, and just do it to this level for him. Again, it was memories made. He has pictures of the event, and he was absolutely ecstatic about it. And just a fun fact, this pack said it had 20 balloons in it, and it did not. It was only 19 balloons. So, yeah. Okay, back to the birthday party. So, I'm just a person where I love to go above and beyond in anything and everything that I do. I just took down all my red, white, and blue decor because it was, I was kind of getting tired of seeing it anyways. And this was kind of my focal point for the backdrop. But, sometimes it's the little things that mean the most to people. So I think I had like maybe 3 packs of balloons. I got some rope from the Dollar Tree. I had some little fishing nets from like the beach kits for the kids. And then I got some cat toys that were like fish. So it just went along with the theme. I had some cattails that I got from the Dollar Tree. So to be perfectly honest with you, some people may see it as a waste. I see it as a memory. And what I will tell you about this is that, looking at this video, and so I started doing this in a hurry, and this is why you don't do things when you're in a hurry. But I started making quads, and I realized, I only had 3 packs of balloons, and I did not want to go back to the store to get any more. So I said, you know what? I unquadded them, and I did them just by 2 to make it a longer stretch across this faux floating shelf. And it worked out a lot better. So had I had a bigger space to do it, like when I did my daughters, I think I probably would have kept them in quads. But because it was just a few little packs of balloons that I had, I figured that I would just keep them in singles. Okay, so this is before I started to run out of balloons and realized, you know what? I need to take this loose and do not singles, but the 2 together. And so, of course, using what I had around the house, I had some old jute twine, and this was the absolute worst thing I could have ever used because all the little fibers from that string kept getting all over the balloons. And I started to, just say, no, I'm not going to do it. And I said, you know what? Nope, he is not going to even care. He's not going to even notice that there's little bitty fibers on the balloon. It wasn't perfect, but it hit the ball out of the park. Okay, so now we are icing the cakes, and this is why you have to have friends who are not like you, who are not in the same talent as you. So my friend Kathy came over to bring me her food coloring for icing. Kathy is crazy talented. She bakes cakes, she can sew, she does all of the things. I can't even name them all because she's just so talented. But one of her talents is cake decorating and baking. And so when I asked her, for some guidance, she says, I'm going to come over and help. And I said, okay, you can come over to bring the food coloring, but you cannot help. because I want I want to be able to say I made the cake. She says, okay, I'll let you do that part. You can make the cake. I'll just be over your shoulder telling you what to do. So right here, I was adding just a little cake icing because, when you buy that icing from the store, you just add a little bit because they only give you a little bit. And Kathy was like, you need to put more icing on the cake. And I kept telling her, I says, well, my cakes are so thin. And I don't know, I should have put two of them together. She says, honey, they're going to be fine, but you need to put more icing on this cake. So I put the icing, I just started piling it on, and I kept saying, this is too much. She says, no, it's not, put more. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like this is too much. She says, no, it's not, put more. And so it was great having her over my shoulder and just kind of guiding me and just telling me what to do. Because again, this is not something that I do every day. And if I remember correctly, I feel like Kathy was telling me that this was called the crumb coat. I don't know that for sure, but Kathy, if you're watching, comment below. Is this the crumb coat? Yes or no? I believe it is. So this box cake, the cost of a regular cake in the store, some butter, had the milk already, and I had the eggs at home. So it really didn't cost me a whole lot. I did get some things from the Dollar Tree to help decorate with it. But his look, and I wish I had recorded it, but I was playing like birthday music as he walked into the house by Stevie Wonder, so it was kind of hard to record, if that makes sense. But his reaction was absolutely priceless, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad there are some things that I could have perfected, yes, but to be honest, I'm so glad I did it for him, and he was so absolutely stoked. Like, I went from making a cake with a fish theme to making a balloon arch and decorating the balloon arch. And then I went from that to decorating the table setting and all the things. So just something so simple and so small, to which I thought really spoke to his heart. And that made me feel really great about what I had done for him. So like I said, I went on Pinterest and I just typed in fish theme parties, and oh my gosh, the number of people who throw fish themed parties is very impressive. And basically what I did was, there were several that I liked different things in. Like, there was one that was a rectangle that I decided I was going to do, and then I thought about like how much surface area I would have to cover. And then I said, you know what, if I just make a circle, I'd have less decorations to put on there. And I definitely wanted it to look really great. So I wanted it to be homemade, but I didn't want it to look homemade, if that makes sense. So basically what I did was, of course, the water was blue, and I saw one that it had like trees, like a wooden, like gosh, not a forest. What do you call it? Oh my gosh. Like trees and things like that. Like you were in the woods. Like you were in the woods at a fishing pond or lake. And then I saw one that had it looked like you were on a fishing dock. So I just kind of took a little bit from each image that I saw and just put them all together. I got these little cookies right here, these little wafers from the Dollar Tree. And I got 3 packs of them. I realized very quickly this was not going to work. It was not going to be enough. And I did not want to go back to the store to get more to go around this cake. So I took those off and I said, nope, we're not going to do this. And then I said, Kathy, you know what? I have some pretzel sticks. I think that would work. And she says, hey, that would definitely cover your cake, and it also would save you costs. So of course I started using the pretzel sticks that we had in our cabinet. And with the pretzel rods that I was going to make, I broke those in I think like a third, to make like the dock where you could walk out and fish off of the dock. And yeah, it worked out very well. So by this time, I am feeling really great about this project. This cake is looking great, and Kathy just, you know what? Kathy is Kathy, and I love that about her. I love that she's just like, I have some fondant with me. And I'm like, how do you have fondant? Like, who shows up to somebody's house with fondant? And it's just a hilarious trip. But she's like, I have some fondant. And here's a tree. And she put this fondant on this what do you call this? A pretzel stick. And she's like, here's your tree. And I was like, well, what should I do? And she's like, just cut into it. Just cut into it. So I did that. And then she made a wooden sign, like a fishing sign, to like kind of say, don't fish here, you know, that kind of sign. And she gave me this cake marker. And I'm like, these are things that I would never have. And the fact that she came to my house overly prepared warms my heart. Like, this is a true friend of mine who wanted to help me execute my vision, and she exceeded my expectations. And Kathy, I love you so much. Thank you for helping make my brother's birthday so special by just going above and beyond like you always do for everyone that you do for. I really, really appreciate you. But like I said, this is fondant. Kathy rolled that out and made it look like that wood. She put some stuff on it. I just happened to turn around from putting the dock, and she's like, here's your sign. You could write happy birthday on here. I was like, okay, cool. But again, you know, it was at this point I was getting tired, and I'm like thinking to myself, this is why people pay people to make cakes, because it takes a lot of time and attention and to detail and all that stuff. So the fact that she, like I said, showed up with all the things, that was really cool. So thank you again, Kathy, for helping me make this cake exceed my expectations and exceed my brother's expectations, and for it to turn out so great. So once I wrote happy birthday Damon on the sign, I took a little bit of cake icing and put it on the back of 2 of the pretzel sticks to help it stand up inside of the pond, or whatever you want it to be called. So guys, this is what the cake has come out to be. I just started getting a lot of inspiration from my friend who said, do you have goldfish? And it just kept going. So she made the fondant, I don't know if that's what you say, but she made that little sign for me, and you guys saw me drawing that. She is more experienced with that. I was not, and she said, you can't leave it without the sign. So, and then the trees, you saw me do those. She rolled that out, and I just cut into those. But this is the finished cake, and I think he's going to like it. So guys, this was my inspiration. It was done by Cake Central. That was who it was. And this is how my cake turned out. I got some Swedish fish because that is a snack that he likes to eat. And the number 4 sticking out of that little plant were cake toppers. And ironically, they had 1 fishing tackle box left over from Bob. This is how his balloon arch turned out, and this was his reaction.
I believe this. I'm totally shocked. Golly, you got the color red, my favorite color, and silver, one of my favorite colors too. And how did you come up with this pretzel idea? It looks
that's why I asked them. How did she do it?
Like pieces of wood all the way around the cake. That is so awesome, Shalana.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
So I just used some plates and forks that were left over from my daughter's party, and that just made it even more special. Happy birthday to you. And wouldn't you know it, I couldn't find not 1 candle, so the lighter had to do. Yay!
Never in your life have you seen somebody as quite intelligent, as creative as my sister.
He said he wanted vanilla. Oh my gosh. Do you need to cut this for you?
Yeah.
I'm going to run out of battery.
I got it. Cool.
Well, guys, I hope this video gave you some inspiration to try to bake your own cake at home. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you're not living life with Lon, then you're missing out. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.